stop. There is a tragedy going on in America, and women, corporate women, especially Black women, we bought into a system that is going to kill you. It is going to kill you because you're not prioritizing your health and your inner knowing. And I want to share with you the tips that I have come to realize after working with so many women and seeing so many successful women just tap out and burn out. And it is a tragedy. I'm sounding the alarm to stop doing that and do something different. Tune in. I have 3 things I need to share with you and an amazing story that will help inspire you. So tune in. I can't tell you the countless conferences that I go to where women are on stage telling us their tips on how to be successful. In my opinion, if you don't feel good, you have low energy, you're constantly like dealing with these problems, health problems. I don't want that. Like, I don't want that. I want to learn how I can be successful in my body and with ease, with focus, and building wealth. If I have to build wealth at the mercy of my health, it's not something that I want. I don't want to chase a title, chase a position, chase a seat at the table for anything. Because I personally believe this whole chasing, this hustling, this idea that I'm going to show you is not healthy for you. There is a system that you bought into that you feel like you have to do that. And as a result, you are dying on the inside. You're frustrated and mad, believing that you don't have control over your health. You also believe that your boss, the system, the white man, has some control over you. And they don't. That's the problem. And that is the issue. Now, I'm going to reference an event I recently attended. So, a good friend of mine who I believe is amazing, and she has an amazing story to share, decided to put together an event that brought in what we would perceive in this city that I live in as like the top visible women in the city. And she asked some questions that help these women help us understand how they're overcoming obstacles, how they are getting to their success. And what I kept hearing over and over were a few things. One was that people were suffering in silence with their health issues. Like, a lot of people don't want people to know because we've been taught just, look a certain way in public, but behind the scenes suffer and struggle. And our health has been the health of these women are the number one things I'm hearing that they're not dealing with. Now, granted, I would say the age group of a lot of these women are the people that are my ideal client, like they're 45 and up. Yet what I've heard is that they've got the title, right? They've got the job, they've earned the seat at the table, but man, was there a lot of clawing. There was a lot of beating, a lot of chasing, a lot of hustling, a lot of, I'm telling you one thing. And I just was like, ugh, to me, I just don't think that that's necessary. I believe we have to be focused. I believe we have to be patient. I believe that we've got to speak our truth. We have to stand firm in what we believe in. We have to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the Lord. I do believe that. But with this idea that I could do that with ease, so that as I'm doing these things, I don't wind up with dis-ease. What I heard a lot of women saying was, I've worked late. A lot of these women are, trying to keep up with everyone else. And we as Black women bought in with this idea that we've got to chase it. And I kept hearing that theme over and over and over and over at this event. So that's one thing that I have found is a tragedy. It is a tragedy. I mean, we're hearing devastating stories. One person broke down on stage because she was going through a crisis. And I just feel like, wait, whoa, I wanted to say time out. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's dive deep into that. Like, let's dive deep into that one thing. And we even had a person say, well, you got to continuously make your boss look good. Like, wait, okay, hold on. Can't we? Like, it just seemed like everything was like displaced. And these were the systems that we believe as women we've had to deal with. The other common theme I kept hearing over and over and over was God, the scriptures, and Jesus is good and all the things. But it kept being misplaced in my mind because I kept thinking, well, with God, all things are possible. I believe that we're like compartmentalizing God. I don't believe a lot of us bring God into our work. I don't believe a lot of us bring God into the fact that we can prioritize our health. And I just keep hearing that. And so, for someone who's not a Christ follower and people hear people going for that success, it doesn't make me want to become a Christ follower. I am a Christ follower, 100%. And I do believe that we can live an abundant life. I do believe that we can live life to the full with all of the amazing things that this life has to offer. But we cannot consume all of the things that are going to devour us. And I 100% believe that we can be in the world, but not of the world. We can't be snacking on all of these things and considering ourselves to be snackable. Like, we're not a snackable. We are a wholesome individual that has priorities. We say no when we need to say no. All these things I just kept being misplaced. I'm like, yes, I hear that. Oh God, amen, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. But over here, we're all dying. We have these lifestyle diseases that are causing us to just fall down flat. And to a non believer, that makes one go like this. So we need to button that up. And that has got to get really, like, I just call that out. And I call bullcrap on this idea that to be a Christ follower doesn't mean that I can live with abundance, that I can live with a wealth mindset, that I can live with health. That's just not, it doesn't add up. And so we need to get rid of that idea of, saying that. The other thing I kept hearing from people was, oh, I don't want the attention on me. I just kind of keep my head down and I do my work. And, I just know that my work has to speak for myself. And like I said, someone said, I just got to make my boss look good and I got to like other people look good. And listen, there's absolutely nothing wrong with respecting your leaders. There's absolutely nothing wrong with knowing that people have certain positions, that we all make each other look good, because real leaders, they realize that they eat last. Real leaders are like Christ. They make other people look good. And if I'm so busy trying to make my boss look good, there's something about that seems, there's a lack of integrity and there's a lack of accountability. And so we have to look at that from a holistic perspective. And I really do believe that a lot of us have just fallen into this trap. This is the reason why a lot of young people can't understand women over 45 or 50 who have this type of mentality, because it seems mismatched. There is this hole. It's a gaping alarm. And one thing I didn't hear from at this event, like, we are in a tragedy right now. Black women are losing their jobs at astronomical rates, right? We are in a serious, like, we got to sound the alarm. And I just didn't hear what we as women are doing differently. We've got to stop following the same patterns that we've always followed, because they don't work. And if there's anything I tell women right now, this is a perfect time for you to begin to see a new way forward. You are not broken. You just have to see a new way forward. It's not your fault even. You bought into a system. And I'm just going to say, traditional, historical, institutionalized thinking has brought us here. And I'm going to say that to some of these true institutions, sororities, fraternities, institutions like civil rights organizations or other bedrock organizations got us so far. They got us so far. Like, We knew we had to put our head down, we had to straighten our hair, we had to look a certain way, we had to sit a certain way, and we had to get our nails done, get our hair done, look all this perfect. But that was a time period. That time period is gone. 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 We don't have to do a lot of the same things that we used to do. Beep, beep. It's gone. And I know that's a hard thing for people to swallow because they're having a hard time trying to keep up. And so they're not flowing with this. And that's the reason why a lot of young people don't relate to us more aged and seasoned people, because we are in our own way. We are in our own way. And artificial intelligence is here to stay. It is not going anywhere. And so while we're still trying to figure out how we can code switch and position and look a certain way and act like we're just always so perfect, yet falling apart behind the scenes, because we all know that you are, because your energy is off and you keep putting off, you are off putting because you put other people down, kind of like passive aggressive. And it's just got to stop. So I just want to let you know that 3 things that we have got to stop doing and we've got to change. You need a new identity. You need a new identity, an identity of abundance, an identity that these old patterns don't work. And they do not work. And I know that's a hard thing to hear, but I have to tell you that. Because and oftentimes, I think a lot of us pride ourselves on being friends with the same people that we've been friends with for years and years and years. But I am telling you that if you want a new way, you're going to have to check those relationships, because you are a product of your environment. You are a product of the 5 people that you hang around the most. And a lot of us want a new way, but we're not willing to actually get a new identity. And I'm telling you, until you are willing to see that the character that you're holding is not going to take you into that next character. And I'm going to tell and be honest with you. We can take the GLP-1s, we can take the Ozempic, we can take these pills that make us think like we have a new identity. But until you start to build a new identity, you will go back to that same identity and be frustrated, upset. And once you stop taking that pill, you will go right back to where you were. It requires a new identity. The second thing is you have to live with a heightened sense of awareness. You've got to be aware of your daily habits. With this new identity, the awareness that you are going to take with you, and you're going to start seeing, oh my gosh, that's why that's happened. This is why I'm the way that I am, right? Because if we don't live with a heightened sense of awareness, we will miss the cues. We will miss the things that are right in front of us. My dear friend actually pulled up a pen and she said, I got to sharpen this pen, but there was actually a sharpener on it. And she didn't realize that the sharpener was on it. And it's because when we don't live with awareness, we don't realize that we have all the sharpening tools that we need. And when we're around other people who help sharpen us, we get to be sharp. But when we are around other people who are dull, who have this sense of, oh, the world is against me, I don't know why this always happens to me, you will live the same way. That's just the way that it will be. You have to have a new identity. You have to have a new way of awareness, and you have to practice. That's the third thing. You've got to practice this. You got to start training yourself. You got to go to basic training. There's a reason why when people go to the military, they have to go to basic training first. Because if you're planning on fighting a battle, and usually you have to fight with a sense of ease, you can't be on the defense. You have to be on the offense. Because when you are on the defense, consistently, you're living with fight or flight. You're constantly feeling like someone's coming to attack you. And you're always going to be like this. And your cortisol levels are going to always be high. So you're always going to be stressed. And that's not good. So a lot of us really need to start practicing. And I always say, choose your heart. What heart do you want? Do you want to live with the heart of, oh my gosh, I hate this life. It's always so hard. I'm constantly vicious circle, waking up every single day, wishing something would change. But you don't change because it just keeps repeating itself. And you got brain fog, because we deal with these women are in menopause. Period. They are in menopause. They're not having periods. These women are in menopause. So what do you want to live with? Brain fog, hot flashes, this constant weight gain, feeling uncomfortable? Or do you want to live with intention, attention, and practice? Because whatever your intention is, and wherever your attention goes, is the result you get. And I've come to realize that the work that we are doing within the Rise Advocates Academy, within our movement, requires a new way of being, a new attitude, a new way which we go forward. None of this apathy. We're not going to get there doing what we've done before. We need a new way. And the rally cry is out here. I'm trying to figure out who is ready to get to this next level. And I'll tell you, I know it's not going to be a lot because y'all tired. Y'all sick, you're tired, you're burnt out, you're frustrated. You believe that you've got to keep going. Oh my God, I can't rest. I can't say, I got to say yes to everybody. I got to be on this board, got to be on this board, got to do this, got to do that, got to hustle. And I can't let them see me sweat. So I got to show up to every single event with all my makeup on and my suit and my fingernails and my hair done and looking perfect. Because if I don't, then, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? You're going to burn out. And you're not going to be able to stay in the game. And you're teaching our younger generation how not to be. That's the reason why the younger generation doesn't relate to that at all. So I'm just trying to figure out who's ready for this. I might have 10 people, but I'm going to have me 10 strong people, because I realize that when I get people together and we all come together with this same accord, and I'm talking to corporate women here. These are my corporate women because I know you know what I'm talking about. You don't think that you can change anything because you're in your corporate role, but you can. You can do this, and you can rise to the next level. You can have this mentality. You can have this philosophy, but you've got to want it. And you need a leader like myself who is crazy enough to believe that's possible, right? I am crazy enough to believe that it's possible. I'm staking a claim on this. I'm 100% assured that you have to train yourself in this. You have to have a new identity. You have to have a sense of awareness, and you have to have a practice about you that is intentional, and you need a guide. You can put all this stuff in Chat GPT, but until you get around this type of energy, you're not going to get there. And that's the reason why I want to invite you to my next Hotter at 53 event, which is our onboarding event. It's going to let you know a lot about how you can become hotter in the way you think, hotter in the way you live, and a new mentality that we're talking about. So check out that link. It's going to be in our caption. I also want to invite you to get on our newsletter, because we're not playing around. Right? This is no like 1980s version program wrapped up in set up in 2025. No, we are in 2025 and beyond, because I know this work in the Rise Advocates movement is going to outlive me. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of energy because I knew at this particular point that I was going to be talking to you about this at this age. This is the reason why I relate to so many 20-year-olds, right? Because I have to have the energy and the stamina. And some of my 20-year-olds can't even keep up. That's the reason why I want you to get on our newsletter, right? Get in our newsletter, get in our ecosystem. And if you can, take advantage of some of the free things that we have. Follow this channel, right? Get into this movement. This is the rally cry I need you to get on. Are you ready? If you are, let's go.